The mutant insects, a science experiment gone wrong. In the quiet suburban neighborhood of Maplewood, life was peaceful, or at least it used to be. The sun shone brightly, children played in the yards, and families gathered for barbecues on the weekends. However, everything changed when a group of ambitious high school students decided to embark on a science project that would alter the course of their lives and their neighborhood forever. The students, led by the bright and determined Sarah, were passionate about biology and had a vision for an experiment that would impress their teacher and earn them a place in the upcoming science fair. They wanted to explore the potential of genetic modification to enhance the growth and resilience of insects, believing that such enhancements could lead to agricultural breakthroughs. Little did they know that their innocent intentions would spiral into chaos. Using the school's laboratory after hours, the group set to work. They carefully selected a few common garden insects, ants, grasshoppers, and beetles, and began experimenting with a serum they had concocted from a mix of plant hormones and synthetic genes. The students were excited as they injected the serum into their small test subjects, eagerly watching for any signs of change. At first, everything seemed to go according to plan. The insects grew larger and appeared more active. The students cheered, convinced they were on the brink of a scientific breakthrough. However, their success was short-lived. Within days, the insects began to mutate in ways they could never have anticipated. Instead of simply growing larger, they developed unusual features: glowing eyes, oversized mandibles, and, most alarmingly, an unnaturally aggressive behavior. One fateful evening, as the students gathered in Sarah's backyard to observe their creations, disaster struck. The containment boxes they had built to keep the insects secure failed miserably, and the mutant insects broke free. Chaos ensued as the creatures, now the size of small dogs, scuttled across the grass and into the streets, causing panic among the neighbors. Screams filled the air as residents witnessed the bizarre sight of giant mutated insects racing through Maplewood. The once peaceful neighborhood was thrown into disarray. Cars screeched to a halt, and families barricaded themselves inside their homes. The students, realizing the gravity of their mistake, felt a mixture of horror and guilt as they watched their experiment wreak havoc. In the following days, the situation escalated. The mutant insects began to invade homes, attracted by lights and food. Their glowing eyes and menacing mandibles struck fear into the hearts of everyone. People tried to fend them off with sprays and traps, but nothing seemed effective against these colossal creatures. The local authorities were called in, but they were ill-prepared for such an unprecedented situation. Sarah and her friends knew they had to fix the disaster they had caused. They gathered in Sarah's basement, brainstorming ideas to contain the mutant insects and restore normalcy to their neighborhood. After a long night filled with discussions, they devised a plan. They remembered that the serum they had created could potentially be reversed. If they could replicate it and apply it to the insects, they might be able to return them to their original size. With determination in their hearts, they set out to gather the materials they needed. They worked tirelessly, their hands shaking with both fear and excitement, until they had mixed the antidote. The challenge now was to get close enough to the mutant insects to administer it. The following night, armed with flashlights and makeshift nets, the group ventured into the darkness of Maplewood. They spotted a massive, glowing beetle perched on a lamppost, its eyes scanning the surroundings. With quick thinking, they carefully approached and used the net to trap it. They quickly administered the antidote, holding their breath as they waited. The beetle trembled for a moment before shrinking back to its original size, much to their relief. Encouraged by their success, they continued their mission, capturing and treating more of the mutant insects. It was a long and arduous night, but with each insect they returned to normal, the neighborhood began to feel safer. By dawn, they had managed to restore most of the creatures, leaving only a few that had fled into the nearby woods. In the aftermath of their ordeal, the students learned a valuable lesson about the responsibilities that come with scientific exploration. Sarah and her friends decided to present their findings at the science fair, but not as a groundbreaking discovery. Instead, they shared their cautionary tale about the dangers of tampering with nature. Maplewood gradually returned to its peaceful state, but the memory of the mutant insects lingered, reminding everyone of the thin line between innovation and chaos.